Understanding faith and patience. Faith and patience work hand in hand. They are brothers, they are sisters, they work hand in hand. So when you hear this word, understanding faith and patience, what first of all comes to your mind? But before I dive into it, if this is the first time you are just seeing me, I'm PhilAmen. Please, I would like you to join my community by pressing my subscribe button. It will not take you anything second of your time to press the subscribe button, so that anytime I drop a new content, you can be notified for you to see that content. So let's go into it. Okay, let's go. Understanding faith and patience. If you hear that word, understanding faith and patience, what first of all came to your mind? Because faith and patience work hand in hand. They do together. They work together. Now, faith and patience are essential for a believer journey. They are very important. They are very vital for a believer journey. As a believer, you need to have this faith. As a believer, you need to have this patience, because both work hand in hand. Both work together. Okay, now what happened? What happened? They work together to help us endure challenges and through trust in God, timely and promise. Okay, they help us to work together, because both of them work together to help us to endure the challenges that we are going to be facing during that process. And it also helps us to trust in God's timely and promises. Under it, we are having two vital things. Under this, we are having two vital things, since they are working hand to hand. Number one is faith. Faith means trust that God will what? Fulfill His word and His promises. Okay? He will help God do what? Work is going to fulfill His promises and that word that He has said to us. Now, patience sustains us as we wait for Him to act. That is patience. Since faith is help us to put all our trust in God, that God is surely going to fulfill everything. Now, patience is not helping us. He's the one that is sustaining us. Since you already put all your hope on God, you already put all your trust in Him, that He's going to help you, He's going to stand by you, He's going to make things easy for you. What next that happen is patience. He helps us to sustain. He sustains us to wait on God till we receive that blessing, till we receive that thing that you are hoping to receive. We are still going to it. Just follow. We are going to hear more of this. Let's move down to patience and faith. They work hand in hand. I've said it earlier. Patience and faith, both of them, they work hand in hand. They are brothers and sisters. You find it in the book of Hebrews 6 verse 12. Book of Hebrews 6 verse 12. What did he say in the book of that Hebrews 6 verse 12? It says that through faith and patience, he inherit what has been promised. We inherit that thing that God has promised us that He will do. A songwriter say, He will do what He says He will do. How God will do what He promised to you. His name is Yahweh. Yahweh. His name is Yahweh. His name is El Shaddai. His name is Great and Mighty God. Now, let's move on and see what is that thing. Say faith. What is faith? What is faith? But before we move down to what is faith, because I am going to be stopping this lecture for that faith of a thing. Then we'll move the definition of faith. That is what I will give last. But before then, faith, believers, God's promise are true. Faith help believers. Faith help us to believe that God promises are what? Are true. Patience, trust God's perfect timing. You should trust God perfect timing, because He's a God. He's a God that makes things easy, make everything possible. Now, what is faith itself? That word faith, what is faith? Faith is the confidence, okay? Faith is a confidence assurance that God will fulfill what He has promised, even when there is no visible endurance. What He has promised, He will fulfill it, even though when there is no visible insurance. God is going to what? Fulfill it. God is going to do that thing that he has promised us that what he will do. You find it in the book of Hebrew 11 verse 1. Hebrew 11 verse 1 say, it allow us to act in obedience, trusting that God will never fail us. It allow us to trust in the Lord. It allow us to obey. It allow us to obey, to be the obedience, to obey the Lord God Almighty, believing in him, trusting in him, that he is going to what? Fulfill his promises, and that he is going to fulfill his promises, and because of that, he never fail. That is God for you, and that is what faith can do for you. Now, let me crown it up with this. Remember, this is part 1. Part 2 is coming up. This is the summary of everything. In our next video, by the special grace of God, we are going to be talking about what is patience. Just stay connected for the next episode, which is part 2. So remember to put all your trust in God, because it allows us to act in obedience, trusting that God's word will never fail. Faith is a confidence that God will fulfill what he has promised, even when there is no visible evidence, even when there is no visible evidence, he will fulfill his promises. Thank you very much. PhilAmen, love you guys. We'll do this again next time. Part 2 is coming up. Remember that. Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. Part 2 is coming. Thank you very much.